It's freshman orientation weekend here at the Star in Frisco. We meet the newest Dallas Cowboys on this edition of the Blitz, starting now.
Pops out to the right, breaks a tackle. They blitz it. Prescott throws it down the right side for Lamb. Caught it! Back to throw, rush, sack by Parsons.
Belt-tie snap. Prescott with plenty of time. Lobs it end zone. Jake Ferguson.
And welcome to the Blitz from inside the Globe Life Studios here at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Nicole Hutchison. As yes, we are deep into the offseason now. We've got everybody here. We got the veterans here. We've got the rookies here starting as they arrived on Thursday, and we're here throughout the weekend. And off the top, I said it's like freshman orientation weekend. You remember freshman orientation weekend when you went off to college, Nicole?
It was scary, but also exciting, right? And I have to look back, think about my first year in tennis, playing college tennis. It was like, oh God, I have to live up to these high expectations. But, you know, it's something that this is what you signed up for. So now you just got to go out there and prove yourself.
Yes, and it started when they hit the practice field for the first time on Friday. How about we take a listen to some of those top rookies in this year's Dallas Cowboy draft class?
I'm excited to be here. I think this is extremely fun. I'm actually a Cowboy now officially. It's my first day of work, so I'm excited. This is everything I've ever dreamed of.
Yeah, I mean, it's feeling real. I'm so excited to be here, and just looking forward to everything moving forward and to meeting the guys and getting to know everyone here.
I think for me, it's just, you know, I think for the Star is just making sure, you know, the dudes trust me. You know, especially in the O-line, it's all about trust. So just making sure that, you know, I'm in the playbook and they feel comfortable having me out there. And then, like you said, just putting it together, you know, the snapping and just technique stuff.
Yeah, just trying to get used to the grind, not really trying to prove something to myself for real, but I ain't coming out here trying to do too much.
I'm definitely confident. I look forward to being able to, you know, learn from everybody and be able to add my own, you know, talents to the room. So any way I can help the team win and help the organization win is what I'm here to do. So
first of all, I'm here to work. I'm someone that my peers can rely on, coaches can rely on, and that I'm ready to do what it takes to win.
Yeah, Zach texted me right after the draft, and, you know, we kind of talked, and, you know, he was just, you know, congratulating me and, you know, just telling him to get ready to work, and, you know, that's what I'm here to do. Getting to learn from a first ballot Hall of Famer, I mean, what more could you want? There's no better person to learn from than him, and, you know, I'm excited to be in that position to learn from him.
just take it all in, learn as much as I can, kind of be a sponge, just absorb everything, get to know the people in the building, and enjoy myself, have fun. Get in the building, earn my respect, get better as a player and as a person, and get more acclimated to the Dallas Cowboys.
Whether you're the first-round draft pick or a college free agent trying to earn that star on your helmet, it all starts right now. And, you know, we go leading up to the draft, we look at all the video of all the players in college and everything. They're all starting at square one right now when they get issued their helmets and their equipment and so forth. And it's very interesting to see the progress now starting this weekend.
For sure. And this is a key moment for them, key weekend for them, just because of the fact that they have to take full advantage of this one-on-one time that they get with the coaching staff, right? It's not going to be ever a time where you get this much one-on-one time to just focus on the fundamentals and focus on the development within yourself. So I think this is a time that they really just have to take advantage of.
A lot of pressure on rookies, and especially pressure on the top draft picks to perform early in the NFL. When we come back here on the Blitz, let's take a look at the Cowboys running back room. With the signing of Zeke, the Cowboys have enough in that running back room when we come back.
The Dallas Cowboys Blitz, presented by Blockchain.com, is brought to you by AT&T, an official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, an official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Blitz continues now here inside the Globe Life studio. Bill Jones with Nicole Hutchison. We're talking running backs in this segment. We're talking about what's been talked about throughout the offseason. After Tony Pollard left in free agency for the Tennessee Titans, everybody was wondering, what are the Cowboys going to do at running back, especially after they didn't draft a running back? Well, of course, they brought back Zeke Elliott. As you take a look at some of the numbers in that Cowboys running back room, Nicole, the big number that stands out for me, they do have 8 running backs on this roster right now.
8, my goodness. But you still have to think about it, Bill. There's still a lot of unproven guys. You know, you talk about Deuce Vaughn, right, who has so much potential, and we saw that at Kansas State, but hadn't really seen that at the NFL level. Hunter Lipke had some moments last year in 2023, but I think that game in Miami at the goal line, the fumble at the goal line, kind of really set him back just in the mindset of the coaches. He was just a little young, right? Still a little bit more development there, but I think that there's just so much hype, so much excitement around what Zeke can bring to this running back room, right? He's been here. He knows the system. Technically, it'll be a little bit of a different system right now that the coaching styles has changed a little bit under Mike McCarthy calling the plays, but I think that there's so much faith in what Zeke brings to this running back room, and I think they're really relying on that experience. You know,
it's interesting bringing back the likes of Malik Davis there and Rico Dowdle, and you mentioned Deuce Vaughn, but bringing Zeke in. Zeke had nearly 1,000 yards rushing and receiving with New England last year, along with Royce Freeman, who was with the Rams last year. If you do the numbers, the number of rushing and receiving yards in the room last year and what they have in that room this year from last year's stats is almost identical, even without Tony Pollard here.
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about, I think some people are like, oh, does Zeke still have it? Does Royce still have it? I think that those guys definitely still have it. I mean, they don't really have a choice now, right, leading that young running back room. But you also have to think about a guy that they just picked up in free agency, or undrafted free agent, Nathaniel Pete, who could bring a lot to this room as well. He still needs a little bit more development, but I think that he has the potential to be a really big production in this room.
You know, the interesting thing about Nathaniel Pete, wearing number 8 here for the Missouri Tigers. He is from Columbia, Missouri, and started his collegiate career at Stanford, wore number 8 for Stanford. Obviously, he's not wearing number 8 with the Cowboys, but he is wearing number 36 as a rookie with this team. And I think one of the big things about him, if you look back at his bio from Stanford, he was a 2-time special teams player of the year, kickoff returner for Stanford. And we know what's happening with the kickoff returns in the NFL right now. That could give him a leg up in that room. Whether he makes the 53-man roster or as a practice squad guy to have in reserve to develop, you want to have a backup running back who can do things on special teams as well.
It makes him more valuable, but I had a question for you, Bill. Do you think that they're still missing that kind of shifty running back? I mean, he's more like a downhill runner, north-south runner, and that's what Zeke is now, right? It's more so what Rico Dowdle is as well. Do you feel like they have that in that room?
Well, and that's the big thing, is that home run threat that Tony Pollard was, and you know, one of the things about the NFL, you don't see a lot of runs of 50 or more yards. It's a tough league to get loose in the open field, and they don't really look like they have on this depth chart a guy with that kind of wiggle who can get out in the open field and take it the distance. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this shakes out, even though they do have 8 running backs in the room right now. And I like what they have as far as depth goes, but that guy that can, the home run threat, they don't have it in this room, I don't think.
Yeah, and it's certainly going to rely on this offensive line, though. I mean, this is going to be a young offensive line with Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe coming in, but I think that if those guys can play the way that they played in college, take that to the next level, I think that these running backs, somebody can, they can cover some run lanes for those guys, so hopefully they can make some production.
The Cowboys are hoping improvement on the offensive line means improvement in the run game, no matter who's carrying the ball, but it's going to be running back by committee. All right, when we come back here on the Blitz, let's look at the rushers on the other side of the football, the edge rushers. Who are they going to pair with Micah Parsons in 2024?
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, an official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Reliant, the official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
You got to love the way Micah gets his off-season work in so many creative ways, taking a trip over to Japan, no less, with Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud. Welcome back to the Blitz. I don't know, maybe we found a defensive tackle for the Cowboys there over in Japan, too.
No, Jerry Jones, go ahead and give him a call. No, I'm kidding. Kidding there. But no, I mean, this is so much fun seeing Micah Parsons and C.J. Stroud, that friendship, bringing out the best of the competition between each other. And we're going to see that possibly this year.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
so.
They'll meet up on the field
Yes.
as well. All right, let's. Last segment we talk rushers on offense. Let's talk edge rushers on defense. Of course, it's great when you got Micah coming back, but let's look at some of those other guys that will pair with Micah. As of course, DeMarcus Lawrence, now a decade in the league with 58.5 sacks. But this is a team that lost some guys. Who on that list strikes you as a guy that can step up in 2024?
I've got to go with Sam Williams, man. I mean, the last 2 seasons, he's had 4 sacks, 4.5 sacks. So a lot of production from him, especially seeing him on special teams as well. But I think DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons both doubled his defensive snap time. And if he gets a little bit more playing time, that'll improve his help on run defense as well. I think that he's so good at pass rushing, just a little more tweaks in his run defense game, and I think he'll be very effective in that run game.
You know, I think one of the things that's very interesting about this is how does Mike Zimmer use his pass rushers in contrast to the way Dan Quinn did. As you know, with the Cowboys, with Quinn, it's been more of a rotation up front on that defensive line. If you go look at Zimmer's past in Minnesota with Daniil Hunter and Everson Griffin, they had over 800 snaps each.
Wow.
In a given season when they were paired together. And so you might actually see, I think Sam Williams is a guy who will really get an opportunity, and he made the most of the opportunities, the snaps that he did have under Dan Quinn, with 4 sacks his rookie season, 4.5 sacks last year, and with 300 or fewer snaps. If you double the snaps that Sam Williams has, he has the potential to be a double-figure sack guy in this league.
Yeah, and 17 QB pressures as well, 6 on the team. Questions for you, Bill. If you look at what Sam Williams brings to this defensive line, how do you feel like he could kind of use him a little bit on that defensive line?
Well, I think what you're looking at, because you haven't replaced necessarily Dorrance Armstrong or Dante Fowler, he's your right side speed rusher. Marshawn Nealon, the draft pick out of Western Michigan, is a guy that I think can replace Dorrance Armstrong snaps a little bit on the right side, but I think he is that base left defensive end, can also rush from inside as well. Probably the heir apparent to DeMarcus Lawrence there. I think they have enough at the edge rusher position. I just think that there's going to be more snaps to be taken by fewer players at defensive end on this.
Yeah, and if you think about the fact that obviously DeMarcus Lawrence is kind of nearing the tail end of his career and the tail end of his contract, and that's no shade to D-Law. You know, he's playing very well. One of his best years came last year as a Dallas Cowboy as well, but I think that you're trying to find and look for the future, and Sam Williams definitely has that, and he knows when we talked to him at the home run derby, and he knows what he has at stake, the opportunity that he has at hand. I think he's ready to go get it.
Yep. Tyrus Wheat, who is an undrafted guy at Mississippi State, is another guy who is on this roster, will be competing for snaps on defense this year. Had a limited number of snaps in a reserve role last year. All right, when we continue here on the Blitz, we head out to the community, Arlington ISD. There are some real artists there. Find out about them next.
This segment was brought to you by Reliant, the official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to the Blitz. Bill Jones along with Nicole Hutchison. We're keeping track of what the Cowboys are doing on the practice field and also off the field as well, Nicole.
Listen, just when you think something is settling down here at the Star and at AT&T Stadium, something else just pops up, right? And I know last week they had the home run derby. This week, Gene Jones and Charlotte Jones spent so much time celebrating Arlington ISD students and their talented work. Since 2015, Gene and Charlotte Jones have made an impact through visual arts within their Arlington Youth Foundation, providing over 40,000 students with a field trip to the Dallas Cowboys Art Collection in AT&T Stadium and a chance to see their art on full display in the gallery.
We are thrilled to celebrate the 9th year of the Dallas Cowboys Art Program. We're so proud of the young men and women whose amazing art is on display tonight.
On Wednesday night, 5th and 8th graders, along with the 2024 graduating seniors and their families, took center stage for their artwork.
It's so exciting to celebrate another graduating senior class who participated in our art program beginning in the 5th grade.
This spring semester, the seniors were invited to apply for one of 3 Dallas Cowboys Art Program scholarships totaling $15,000. During Wednesday's reception, 3 finalists were announced.
Alexis, how are you? Congratulations, come on up here.
During middle school, as I took it seriously, my teachers encouraged me to keep pushing forward and expand my boundaries, especially in drawing.
Instilling an appreciation for art at a young age is the goal for the Jones Art Program, but also to encourage them to pursue art education beyond the basic school requirements. And it's paid off. More than 5,000 students alone participated in the program this year.
To get a chance to walk in your shoes, to see your why behind your essays and behind your art was incredibly moving. And we just want to thank you for being so authentic and so vulnerable and so brave to share that with us.
The past 9 years, we've impacted 40,000 students in AISD, and that's unheard of. And so we are so appreciative of the Dallas Cowboys, Ms. Jean Jones, for really believing in our kids. I mean, to be able to partner with a football team in the school district is unheard of. And to be able to show our kids that stadium is here to showcase their artwork, be part of an art tour, is priceless, and it will be a memory that kids will always remember.
Now, this is an annual event, so parents, if you're watching and your kids are interested in art and pursuing that career, make sure to check out for that application for next week. But I know for me, art was not my skill set.
Not mine either, but some talented artists there in Arlington ISD, and congratulations to all of them. All right, we got time left here on the Blitz to go over some key dates the rest of this offseason. And for you, C.D. Lamb, consider this an open invitation to come back with the Star in Frisco.
The Dallas Cowboys Blitz, presented by Blockchain.com, was brought to you by AT&T, an official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
Make sure you download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV to get the latest news and analysis on your home TV. Get the latest player interviews, video podcasts, and so much more on the Cowboys Now app. As we welcome you back for the final couple of minutes here of the Blitz, Bill Jones with Nicole Hutchison, and time to take a look ahead to some key dates. This was a big weekend as the rookies were here for the mini camp. We are a week away from the start of OTAs here, Nicole.
Ooh, OTAs, that is going to be the real tester for these rookies and see how they compete with those older veterans. And I know there'll be opportunities for them to pick their brains a little bit, learn some, get some inside knowledge from those older guys too. I know Kalen Carson did say to the media yesterday that he earlier this week, he said that he was really excited about picking the guys' brains like Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs and things like that. So I'm looking forward to what he especially brings to that DB room.
Well, okay, you got the OTAs for a couple of weeks. We're 3 weeks away from the veteran minicamp, but you know what happens this week? We get to find out when the Cowboys are playing these 2024 opponents. The schedule comes out this week.
Man, I'm so excited. I know the game I'm looking forward to, of course, is the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud, me being from Houston, I've got to look forward to that game, right? But no, I'm looking for CJ Stroud. Look forward to what the Cowboys bring and how much they compete in this season.
All right, just getting started on this offseason as far as the rookies are concerned. Training camp will be here before you know it. And for Nicole Hutchison, I'm Bill Jones, and we will see you again next week on the Blitz, your Dallas Cowboys report.